Hey everyone, we are back with our theme of the month, and as always, I always have my good friend Angelo here as my uke helping me out. This month we're going to be discussing mount transitions. What does that mean? So a lot of times when we're in the mount, of course our goal is to be able to establish the mount and finish with some type of submission. It's a very dominant position, but you may have an opponent that is also tough. They will then transition maybe into turning to their side, and then we can transition into technical mount, or if they turn to the turtle position, we can transition into the back take. So let's go ahead and look at that right now. I'm in position 2 passing, so whatever pass you want to do, establish the side control position. So for this mount position, one of the key things actually that I want to address is actually how to mount someone, right? If you sit there and you rush the mount, a lot of times your opponent will either catch your leg or you won't be able to complete the mount position. So for me, I like to control, apply some shoulder pressure. I'm gonna go knee on belly. So you can see here, my knee is on his belly, knee on belly, and I'm gonna drive. A lot of times what I'll tell the kids is, choo-choo train. So I'll drive my knee all the way through, touch the mat as possible, as best as I could, and then I'm going to switch my hip so it prevents him from actually catching my leg. Okay, so here I am, control, shoulder pressure, knee on belly, I'm gonna choo-choo train, drive my knee, my knee's about to touch, watch how I switch my hip, boom, switch my hip. Now from here, I'm in the mount position, very dominant position. I like to stay super low just to be able to kind of smother my opponent. Here, I'll go into the high mount position, boom, and I'll establish control. Here I can go for any of my chokes. You have a cross choke here, you have paintbrush here. If he gives the arm, I'll go arm bar or whatever submissions you have here. Now, this is a part for theme of the month, is if your opponent, super tough, they're really doing a lot to bring the knees down and connect, but now he turns to his side. Here he is, turns to the side, not a problem. My body's gonna transition. As you notice, my knee provided a little pillow. We call it a knee pillow. And so here, he sits his head here. And then a key thing here is bringing my foot, my heel, as close to the body as possible. I wanna close the space. Everything is about closing spaces to not let your opponent escape. So from this position, I'm in technical mount. I have different submissions from here. I can either if his arm is kind of down, I can feed my arm through, control here, shave the face, go for my arm bar, or I can here open up the collar, feed the lapel, I could finish a choke here, or I can sit there and go for maybe a bow and arrow choke, boom, here, and finish that. Okay, so that's from the technical mount. Now your opponent is a little stubborn and super tough, and so I'm trying to keep things tight, but what ends up happening is he can then turn into the turtle position, here, turn to his knees. Key thing here, really important for me to establish the control here. If I'm too high up, my opponent can buck me over or can escape from that position. So what I want to make sure I do is I sit, use my hand, and I get a little bit lower here from this position. Now from here, I have more control, chest is connected, closing the spaces. Here, I can go for different submissions. Either I can feed the collar here, finish a choke here, or I can turn my opponent, get to the side, finish a choke there, or I can sit there and I can actually go for a bow and arrow choke, boom, here, and then finish from there. So as you can see, there are so many options from the mount position, also transitioning to the technical mount and also to the back. Just like this partner here, they may not just stay on their back and let me establish my mount position and go for my submissions there. They may defend, turn to their side, not a problem. You have your technical mount, but if not, they can also turn to their knees, and then we have a back take for them and different submissions there. We'll see you back next month. Have a great day.